What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Compound today. COMP. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Compound is exactly at the same price that it's been at for, I don't know, since the last time I talked about it. Let's see, Compound here. One of you guys in the comments, I'd give you a shout out if I wrote your name down, but I did not write your name down. March 9th, you were saying that you talked about it. This is your 17th day in a row requesting Compound. Well, it's March 20th now. March 9th was my last day, so it's actually been 11 days since I made Compound. So maybe you didn't watch the last video, and that's okay if you didn't watch the last video. But please watch this one, okay? That way you're not requesting for 17 days in a row. That must be annoying for you. 11 days ago, we were literally exactly where we are now. It's kind of crazy, right? Whenever I was talking about it 11 days ago, you look at that closing price, look at that. We're at the exact same price. It's almost as if nothing has happened at all, and yet people are itching, are chomping at the bit for me to talk about it. So let's talk about it, okay? Compound is exactly what it's always been. It's very boring. It's very, very boring. There was times where I was talking about Compound a lot, throughout this range, a lot throughout this range, a little bit throughout this range, not at all throughout the boring times, right? And very, very very literally, I would talk about it maybe every 2 weeks or so, if that even. And I said that don't even talk to me about Compound until we're above 63 bucks. That's what I said. I said if we go lower than this low, then we can talk about it. And I would say the same thing here. I don't even care what Compound's doing in the short term, and really it's not even 63 bucks now. I'd say we have to get above like 77 bucks, 77 and a half. And to be fair, maybe we can start talking about it again once it gets back above like 55 bucks. But if you're not above 55 bucks, if you're not below 34 bucks, don't talk to me. Who cares? It's in the same range it's been in for years. Here's the deal. 1 week ago it was at this exact, or 11 days ago it was at this exact same price. Months ago it was at this exact same price for months. Even here, like throughout this whole multi-year since 2022, you've been here, and I hope everybody understands. I'm not talking smack about you, right? I'm talking smack about Compound. I think that this thing here is boring. It's one of my biggest positions. I haven't sold any of it. I haven't sold a drop of it. Why? Because I do expect that whenever it comes time for this thing to pump, it's going to rip really hard. I think that this is nothing shy of a large accumulation phase. And I mean it the same as I did here, the same now as I did here, as I did back here, that when we do break out, not when we fake out like this, it's going to be a phenomenal run. We're going to move up much faster than we moved down. This was a fast move down. We are going to move up so fast it's going to leave people's heads spinning, you guys, whenever the time comes. But it's not just Compound that's being boring. It's a lot of cryptos that are being boring, right? A lot of stuff is just kind of being lackluster. And I think that once the crypto alt season kicks off, we will see some life coming back into these coins, right? But as of now, it's just sleeping. It's asleep. There's really nothing to talk about. From a high to a low, we can talk about the exciting stuff whenever that finally comes. We'll probably see targets not even stop at the golden ratio. We'll probably go all the way up to $421 to $600, somewhere in that range. We're at $43 now. That's phenomenal growth. It's a very phenomenal amount of growth that we could see in a short amount of time. Am I buying more Compound here? No, but I've DCA'd from $58 to $38. So this is like right within my DCA range. If you want to buy here, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is where I bought. This is literally like right in the lower ends of that limit where I bought. So is it possible that it can go lower? Absolutely. Could it go lower than this low? Absolutely, but it probably doesn't. And we'll see. You've got on the weekly RSI here, you've got lower lows here. You're bouncing at the same area that you bounced last time. What happened here? Well, that was your low point there. So, but just because it was your low point, did that mean you moved up? No, you just moved sideways. On the bright side, Compound, compared to a lot of altcoins, is actually holding up rather well. I mean, maybe not from this drop, maybe not from December. Let's see, how much of a drop was that actually? From a high at 139 to a low here, it's a little bit more than the average altcoin dropped. But in overall essence, if you didn't FOMO the top and you bought within the boring range like I did, and you bought at the areas that we were really talking about buying, just like we are now, you're not really hurting at all, right? Most cryptos, most altcoins, they are lower than they were even back in September, let alone December. But maybe not most of them, I shouldn't say that, but there's some that are. But Compound's just right where it was, right? It's a very stable coin in all aspects of that word. From a daily perspective, the RSI sucks. It looks like it wants to go lower. Yes, the price does look like it wants to go lower. Are we going to go lower? It's a good question. Let's see. I don't like that low there. I treat February 3rd as a kind of fake day here. personally. I mean, we can try. We can see if it's respected. It's kind of respected. This actually doesn't look bad in all honesty. This one doesn't look bad either, though. Either way, I would expect, let's see, 35, 36 bucks is that target there. 37 bucks to 35 bucks is this target here. So yeah, same target no matter what the fib is. So yep, looking like you want to go a little bit lower. Daily RSI sucks. 4-hour RSI is, you guessed it, terrible. Yes, we are getting oversold and we can't get overbought. And we're seeing lower highs and lower lows. We're going lower. We're finding resistance now at prior areas of support. We're going lower. 1 hour time frame, I can only imagine. It looks terrible. Yes, absolutely. To be completely fair, it actually looks neutral. Even actually more. This is probably the most bullish RSI is the 1 hour, but that doesn't matter. And it's starting to turn bearish. So going down over the coming days. I don't expect it to drop super hard, right? If we look at this, right, we're talking about a $42 price right now, going down to $35 maybe at the maximum, and it could drop lower. Of course it could, but you know that's about a 17% drop, where the average altcoin's probably going to drop like 10% more than that, or at least 5% more than that. For as lackluster as it's been, it'll be very lackluster on the way down too. So that's kind of encouraging, but whenever it does come time for this thing to pump, it's going to be miraculous. But until we are above $55, what was it? Yeah, 55. Until we're above $55 on a weekly closing basis, until we're below $33 on a weekly closing basis, I don't care to talk about this thing, man. It's not because I hate it. It's one of my biggest positions. It's just boring. It's boring, and it's okay to have a boring position. You know, oftentimes it's the coins. I find myself thinking I should restructure my portfolio, and this is one of the coins that I consider letting go of and putting into other things, right? I'm just speaking from the heart here. I'm speaking from the soul. But the reason why I don't is because every single time I've done that in my life, where I've taken the boring coin and I've tried to do something with it because I was bored of a coin, right when I sell, that's about the time that it pumps. You know what I mean? And I've been through the ringer with this. I've been through too much. I think I speak for anybody holding compound that we've been through too much boringness to sell out now. We are an aspect of this overall accumulative phase right here. We are like less than 10% of this time frame, probably even less than 5% of this whole time frame away from seeing a miraculous effort to the upside. And it's one of my biggest positions. I'm not going to fumble that here. So if anything, in my experience, it's the coins that bore you that are the ones that you probably should buy more of, to be completely fair. But again, this is one of my biggest positions. So I'm not interested in adding more to my big positions. I'm looking to allocate more to my smaller positions or to new positions entirely. So talking about compound, bullish on it still, sleeping on it because it is lackluster as hell. But oftentimes it's the ones that are lackluster, that are boring, that bore people out. They outperform the whole markets whenever they really do start to perform. And I expect this thing will start to perform here over the coming weeks, over the coming months. But until Bitcoin finds its low, until the rest of the markets bottom out, until alt season begins, boring. And that's all I got, right? The next video that I make, it'll probably be in 2 weeks as well, and it'll probably be more or less the same exact video. So I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.